Smile. We're going to be going over a review of the Logitech $200 webcam versus a DSLR $3,000 webcam. So stay tuned. I'm going to be covering everything from the build quality to the sharpness so you can have a better and more informed decision. So right off the bat, I want to go over the build quality of the Logitech Brio. Now it is currently plugged in, so that's why you see a light, but I will say upon unboxing this webcam, it is and feels like a very premium webcam. At around $199, it is fantastic. When you open up the box, you feel like you were opening up something that cost a substantial amount of money. I've had C920s, I've had the C922 for the HD, and then the Logitech Brio, and obviously my $3,000 webcam. What I will say that is a major difference between this and that webcam is going to be build quality. The more money you spend, the more money you are going to get as far as value. But when you're going and using this and throwing it in your bag to bring it to your next meeting or wherever you're headed, this feels like quality. It doesn't feel cheap, unlike a Logitech C920 or any other webcam. This feels well made. It has a USB-C connection right in the back, and it comes with a 6-foot USB-C, so you can move around, adjust. If you have a standing desk like I do, it can move with you. It also comes with a little cover. That is a nice feature. If you've ever seen Zuckerberg, he has a little cover over his laptop. It's just an important feature, and it's a nice to have, but it feels great. It feels like quality, and the entire front of it seems to be some kind of durable plastic or glass, so I don't feel so bad throwing it in my bag if I had to run out with it and use it for a meeting. What I will say is there are some other areas that we're about to get into that are where I think it lacks a little bit for the amount of money. The second thing I want to cover is ease of use. This, compared to my $3,000 webcam, which I'm not going to take down, is massive. This is simple. I can simply plug it in with a USB-C right into a computer, and the computer will pick it up as a webcam. The DSLR, on the other hand, is quite a bit. I need a fake battery so it could record forever. I need a cam link by Elgato. I need a small little adapter, which is not common. I believe it's a micro HDMI to a USB. These are not things that you would normally see, or a micro HDMI to an HDMI, things that you normally wouldn't see with this. This is easy. I can carry one cable, I can plug it in, that's it. It does come apart, so if I wanted to mount this to a tripod, it would be extremely easy. And other than that, it has a little adjuster, so you can go through and adjust as needed depending on the thickness of your screen, so it could sit just about wherever you would like it. But overall, ease of use, this is a 10 out of 10. It is a simple plug and play, and I do love the fact that unlike a lot of other webcams, I can simply remove that USB-C, which I'm not going to do, to make it even smaller. I can throw it in a bag, throw it in a little felt bag, and I'm done. Some other webcams do not have a detachable cord in the back, and you have to be really careful, because once that cord takes a beating, it almost makes the entire webcam useless. Sadly, it will just break. However, on the DSLR, I need at least 2 additional cables if I'm going to run it off a battery. If I want to record directly on there, I need an SD card, and I need to know how to configure it. There is little to no configuration with this. It is as simple as plug and play, whereas the DSLR, it is quite a bit of work. Absolutely, this wins. This is a 10 out of 10. Super easy. If you're somebody that doesn't like the cord being able to be removed, I would recommend a different solution, but I do like that I can break this down into 3 small little pieces. They could go simply into a small little felt bag, and I no longer have to worry about it. This I need to protect with my life because it is way too expensive. But that's as far as it goes for build quality and ease of use. It takes about 2 minutes to set this up. It could take me a little while to set that up, especially if it's a new product coming out. Next, I want to go over the actual setup of this. So to set this up, once again, it is very simple. You just saw me throw it on my computer here, and I'm trying to line it up with my webcam, and it is extremely easy setup. There is a separate file that you could download from Logitech to use it. I have found little to no benefit from using it. Plug it in your computer, open the camera, adjust a couple settings in there if you would like to. But I will say lighting is massively important with this webcam, and I'm going to show you guys the difference here that you'll actually be able to see. It's pretty different. You could see that there is some massive differences in the colors of my shirt, where the high definition video, the DSLR, you could see is much more close to the actual color of the shirt versus the Logitech Brio. And if I move my head a little bit out of the way here, you'll also be able to see the color of the sun. I'm trying to point to it. The color of the sun, the color of the walls is very different and very skewed. Now the DSLR can work in just about any environment, and I just have to adjust some settings. The Logitech Brio, on the other hand, excels from more light, and I'm going to show you why. Now, the DSLR is set up to work with a very specific set of colors. However, now with more lighting inside that Logitech Brio, it's performing a little bit better. I know it might not look like it because the lighting's not perfect, but for a, let me just turn the light switch on, and I already have a light bar in front of me providing that light, it's fairly good. There is little to no delay. You can see that there is almost no motion blur in the Logitech, whereas on the DSLR, I've kind of set it so that there's always motion blur. Now these lights are a little bit on the warmer side. However, on the Logitech, it doesn't really pick that up. I will say now my shirt is more of the appropriate color in the Logitech as opposed to the DSLR, but that's a simple adjustment and setting between the two. There are some things that are slightly different. The chair color is different, and the yellowing in the lights, once again, I could adjust that in post settings or go back into the camera and adjust it in real time. And then with the lights off, you can start to see that more motion blur is coming back on the Logitech Brio, and the same amount of motion blur and a color correct image is appropriate for the DSLR. So that's lighting. It benefits from more lighting. If this is a camera that you're thinking about getting, it is a great camera in my opinion, but it does benefit from lighting. If you're gonna go into a dark setting, which I will kill this light on, it begins to get a little funky, and that's already getting a lot of light through it. If I got rid of that, it would be very, very hard to see. The camera has a really, really hard time exposing for really low light because it's a small sensor and a small webcam. But once again, for a $200 webcam, this far exceeds the C920 among many other webcams out there. Now, how does the color look? The color is, in my opinion, completely incorrect depending on the settings. If you have a sufficient amount of very white light, a very natural white, you will get great coloring out of the Logitech Brio. Whereas on the DSLR up top or to one of the sides here, this is a much more accurate color representation of my shirt among the other colors of the sun in the background, the firefighter flags, the Lego in the background as well. Coloring is a little bit different. You can adjust some of the settings once again inside the Logitech Brio, but it is pretty rough when it comes to those kinds of areas. You have to be really, really careful what kind of light you're using. It will do its best to adjust, but if you're going to be in an area where lights are going to be flashing and changing all of the time, the Logitech Brio is going to struggle really hard to keep up with the constant changing environment, and your video quality is not going to be as seamless as it should be. Now, how sharp does it look? The sharpness is something that I wanted to cover. I think that there is a lot of really important stuff when it comes to sharpness. I just bought little dog clicker here to help with videos and recording. And as you can see, the sharpness is fairly decent, but it could be sharper. The DSLR looks extremely sharp. You can actually see the little hand marks and the dirt and the scuff marks on here, whereas the Logitech covers a lot of it. Even with the tones in my skin or the, we'll call them wrinkles in my head, you could really start to see some more definition in the DSLR versus that Logitech. Even my shirt, it looks much more natural on the DSLR versus the Logitech. You're losing a little bit. It's a softer image in the Logitech Brio, even on a 4K highest setting it offers. So something to keep in mind, if you're looking for extremely detailed information or data from your webcam, the Logitech Brio is just not going to be able to deliver to a standard that you might be looking for. Now, it does look great, and I've used this for interviews, I've used this for business calls, I've used this for even YouTube, among many other things, and recording either my desk or different areas. It's fantastic. However, you have to understand that you are going to be losing a good bit of detail from the Logitech Brio versus a DSLR, whether it's a set fixed focus or it's set in autofocus where it's constantly trying to get the most definition possible. But sharpness is a major factor when it comes to cameras and what camera somebody is willing to buy. And last but not least, the audio. And this is the area that I've been regretting getting to the whole time, because you're about to not enjoy this as much as I was hoping. But I've completely cut over the audio to the Logitech Brio here, and it doesn't sound awful. However, the reason why I put this last is because this could easily be resolved with a $20 or $30 microphone from Amazon. Is it going to be as good as a pod mic with a dedicated mixer? Probably not. However, for something that you just need to jump on a call with, or leveraging super cheap headphones like these little $6 headphones here with a little mic, is going to be infinitely better than Logitech Brio audio. Whereas on the DSLR, the professional setup here, I have a very, very, very clear audio coming through. I know this because I've tested it and it sounds incredible. So side by side, which one do you prefer? Is the $200 price tag for a Logitech Brio worth it in your mind, or is it worth getting a $3,300-ish setup with a boom arm, the Rode Pod mic, a Sony A7C, and a Sigma 24-70 lens? All the links will be down below. But there is a massive, massive difference at nearly a 10x cost, more than a 10x cost from one camera to the next. Is it worth saving the money, or are there better options out there? I'm going to be doing a series on webcams of which is the best webcam for you to use at home and which is the best microphone for you to use at home, especially getting out of the XLR area where it's super easy, plug and play. You want to have a professional Zoom setup that's going to wow somebody. That is the goal of this next series here. We're going to find the best webcam and the best microphone for you to have an easy setup that looks professional. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are looking to launch a podcast or learn more about audio, jump on my newsletter. I have a newsletter that I help thousands of people crush it online with their podcast and video setups here. So go check that out. All the links will be in the description down below, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next video. If you would take a moment to subscribe, I would really appreciate it. It means the world to me. And I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my obnoxiously orange water bottle worth of water here. I'll see you guys. Don't forget to drink your water.